Okay, it's 10. Sorry.
Well, hey everybody, welcome back to another live Q&A session with yours truly, Sam Healey. Thank you for joining us. We certainly appreciate it. Good morning. And I see here, let's see, we've already got a good number of comments here at least. There are already 10 waiting for Q&A. That's good. It's almost time for the big bear to appear. Samwise Healey the fairy. All right. Rawr. Yes, that's true. Let's see. Wise Wedge. Unless he shaved his beard, then I would be sadly mistaken. No, I have not shaved my beard. I am not trying to keep up with you.
If you want to mute your thing too, because you can hear the little
Yeah, I
popping.
hear the little popping. Yeah, that's true. Got it. Anyway, let's see. I do not think this is even possible. Sam without a beard. Well, maybe not. But there was a point in time where I did not have a beard, so it is possible. Probably not going to do it, but yeah, there you go. So we're going to continue scrolling here, and let's see here. I'm using the new Ecamm Live thingy that everybody has been using so far. This is my first time. Monday Morning Funk. Is that a new genre of music? Is that what that is? See, you're wearing your Deliverance shirt. I got one as well. What do you think of the game? Well, let's. We can go ahead and add that. Okay, you need to show me how to do this, Roy. How do you add this?
So, there's add to broadcast. Click
Got
that
it.
little thing there, and then it'll pop up here.
Got
and
it.
you can actually move this down or up or however you
Can I
want
move
to.
this out of the way?
Yeah, I would
Is
take
that
off.
showing?
No.
Okay, I'm going
close
to take that off.
There you go.
Can I take this off?
You could move it up to the top maybe so it's more out of the way. There you go.
Bing,
And you can
bing.
move this a little bit lower too if you wanted to be.
Bang, bang.
There you go. And then you can just switch them out. And you can X that out too if you don't want anything to be up.
Okay, cool. All right, so yeah, I am wearing my Deliverance shirt, and I do like the game. I played it at Dice Tower West with Andrew, and it was a really great time. I liked everything about it. It is a Christian-themed game, so, but it's a great game where each person is taking on the role of an angel that has been sent to protect some, I guess I could just call them Christ followers that are in a town, and you're protecting them from different satanic forces that are entering the fray there. So there's a lot going on. It's area movement, combat dice. You use your cards to boost your combat and to use your special abilities that each of the different angels have, and it's really cool, and I enjoyed it a lot. But haven't been able to play it since I've only played it once, but I did enjoy my experience with it at Dice Tower West. So there is that. Keep your eye open for it. Let's see here. So we'll go ahead and get that out of the way. Have a question. He says, I don't have a question. That deserves to be put up on the screen. I'm sorry. But I don't have a question, but I just want to observe that Vernon lost 3 straight games of Lords of Hellas, Kemet, and Blood Rage on Saturday. That is worthy of note and mention. And I hope Vernon is watching so that he can see that we are lamenting his loss. So there you have it. Let's see here. What am I doing wrong?
I didn't know if I could see it in the stream, the thing popping up, but
What thing popping up?
it seems like it's live, so I don't know what's going on.
Okay. What
Maybe you
thing
just
popping
didn't
up?
have the question. I didn't see it at the thing, but you don't have one up there currently. So.
Right. Okay. Well, you want me to put one up, and you can go check it.
That's fine.
You're fine. Okay. Cool. All right. All right. So, can you show us pictures of you without a beard? No, I don't have any pictures of me without a beard on my person, I guess you could say. I think there are some that are online, I imagine, somewhere. So if it really means that much to you, you could probably find them. Let's see here. Yes, we do, but there you go. Luis Herrera, you guys no longer have the thing that shows the questions on the screen. Yeah, but you can, I guess that's working because I can see it here, but I don't know if it works out there. Poor Vernon. Yeah, I know. Let's see here. Games off the shelf. Good morning. Good morning. Blink once. Blink once if you liked Tapestry. Twice if you didn't. I'm going to not blink because I haven't played it yet. So I have no idea. But now that's over, and I'm going to start blinking again because my eyes were burning. Let's see here. What are you guys going to do about Abomination? I don't think a second game is in the cards, but it deserves a Miami Dice review with Z. Well, that may or may not be in the works. I can neither confirm nor deny that, Senator. Have you played the new version of Dune yet? No, I have not, Patrick. But that may be remedied soon at Dice Tower Retreat. I don't know, though. It's a long game, and yeah, we'll see. We'll see. But no, I haven't played it yet. Good morning, good evening from Africa. Hello, Brad. Good to see you. You know, in a digital sort of way. What did you think about the Horrified game? I have not played Horrified. Tom and Z have played it, and I haven't been able to yet. So there you go. Have I been able to get a chance? Have I had a chance to try the new Marvels game from FFG? No, I have not. So I apologize for that as well. I guess I'm going to do a lot of apologies here. But Gator Dave says love all the new Miami Dice videos. Thank you, appreciate that. They're a little bit more cumbersome to put together, and that's only because we have to get, it takes a couple of people coming together rather than just one person working on the video and doing everything and editing it and all that kind of stuff. It takes, so they're a little bit more difficult to put together, but they are fun to do as well. So we enjoy doing them. It's just a little bit harder sometimes to get them made. That's why they're kind of sporadic, but they may not be in the future. I mean, sporadic in the future, sorry. Have you had a chance to play the Pearlbrook expansion for Everdell yet? Any thoughts if you have? I actually haven't played Everdell yet, let alone the expansion. So it's it's kind of strange because often we don't play a whole lot of games together except for what we do on Testing Tuesday. And then we play other, like we're playing through the Clank Legacy game, Acquisitions Incorporated, with me, Tom, and Roy. So we're playing games together that way. But other than Testing Tuesdays, we don't play a whole lot of games together. We're usually going to game events where we're playing the games that we are reviewing with other people, not necessarily together. So we like to kind of spread out when we go to events like that, so we're not just always just playing together. So it is what it is, I guess. It's just one of those catch-22s, maybe we could call it, because we want to play more games together, kind of, but we also want to spend time with the fans and our other friends that we have in the group and that type of thing as well. So it's kind of difficult, but I haven't played Everdell or its expansion. Wow, you guys are just asking me about all the games that I haven't played today, which is fine. But it just means that we're going to have more. Haven't played that yet. Have you played Detective City of Angels Kickstarter game? No, have not. Z has done an unboxing of it and recently, and it looked very interesting to me. Well, I believe Z has taken that game, and he's the one playing it. He's the one that's going to give it a review. So that's one of the reasons, I guess you could say, that I haven't played it. But no, I haven't. Let's see here. Do you have any other hobbies apart from board games? Well, board games is is a pretty big hobby, but it's more than a hobby for me because it's part of my job. So, well, it is my job, kind of. So I don't have a whole lot of hobbies per se. I do like I like sports, and I like watching sports. I like playing sports as much as I'm able. I also like watching the car restoration shows and other kinds of historically type themed shows like American Pickers that has a whole lot of history wrapped up in it. I know it's just trinkets and it looks like garbage to a lot of stuff, but there's a lot of history wrapped up in all of those things. So I like that type of stuff. I just started watching a show on Netflix called Hyperdrive last night, and that's really interesting to me to see people racing cars and drifting and then dealing with the things that happen to their cars during the races so that they can be ready for the next race. Those kinds of things make it interesting to me. So I guess the real answer is not really, but there are other things that I like to do, yes. But they're not very exciting. So there you go. This is a good one. What have been your favorite games of this year so far? Whoo, boy. Wow, I'm drawing a blank. I'm really enjoying Clank Legacy, the Acquisitions Incorporated. I'm really enjoying that one. Despite what I said on my first impressions, I did enjoy playing Abomination. I just don't like the theme. But it's a fun game to play, and I like how all the mechanisms work together. I just don't like the theme. So there's that. But I did enjoy that one. I really enjoyed Reavers of Midgard. I really enjoyed... trying to find some games that I've played over here on the shelf, and there just aren't any. I'm like out of the scene here. Ooh. I'm trying to cheat, and I'm not doing a very good job of it. Wow, they're just we've played so many. I'm having trouble kind of really coming back. I enjoyed Atlantis Rising, the new edition, a lot. I know that's not really this year, but I've really enjoyed playing it. So, good night. Why do you guys ask me these questions? Oh, wait, I'm doing a live Q&A. That's why. I got it. But, yeah, those are just a few, and I know I'm missing some. So, I'll maybe come back to it. Maybe you guys can mention some of the games that we've played, and that'll jog my memory. Because it is Monday, and I haven't coughed yet. Last year, you guys played Mezzo in the studio live. Should I be excited about that Kickstarter delivering soon? How did it compare to Blood Rage, Rising Sun, Kemet, and other popular area control games? We'll go ahead and put that up there. Well, we did play Mezzo in the studio live, and I enjoyed it a lot. I've played it a couple of times, I think, since then, and I still enjoy it. Some of the people that I played it with were not so enamored by it. They saw some different things in it that they didn't like, but that's true of any game, right? How does it stack up to Blood Rage and Kemet and Rising Sun? Well, I don't know. There are similarities there, definitely. I mean, you're putting big, huge monsters and minis on the board and all this other kind of stuff. So it's definitely in the same camp, right? But there are also differences that you can that it has. So I don't like it better than Blood Rage. I wouldn't even say I like it as much as I do Blood Rage, but I do still enjoy it. It is a fun game to play, and it has a good production value, and there's a lot of theme wrapped up into it as well. So I liked it, and I enjoyed it. Should you be excited about it? Sure. I mean, if you like those kinds of games, then you'll probably enjoy it a lot too. Let's see. What do you prefer, 878 Vikings, Star Wars Rebellion, or or Twilight Struggle? From those, it really depends on who I'm playing with. If I'm playing with someone who also enjoys historically themed games, then I'm probably going to lean more towards 878 Vikings, especially if I have 3 or 4 people that want to play a game. That will support 3 and 4 players, whereas Twilight Struggle wouldn't. So if it's just 2 people, myself and another person who are historically inclined, then maybe I'll go with Twilight Struggle. But I would go with 878 Vikings first. I think I like that game more than Twilight Struggle, but if one of the other 2 are available, or aren't available, then I'll go with the other, pretty much. Star Wars Rebellion is a little bit more of a game that if someone is more into Star Wars, or if they're looking at it and they're like, wow, this looks really neat, I'll get out and play it with them. It also supports 3 or 4 players, but I think I enjoy it more as 2. So if I just have 2 players, I'll probably break out Star Wars Rebellion. But if I have 3 or 4, it'll probably be 878. And now a serious question. Have you been in Poland? No, I haven't. I've never been to Poland. I did spend more than a couple of years in Germany. I spent 3.5 years in Germany. I lived in Bitburg. That's where my dad was stationed. It was an U.S. Air Force base at the time. We lived on base for 2.5 years, and then we lived off base in a town called Kielburg, Kyllburg, for a year. And that town actually has a pretty cool. We've seen pictures from World War II where a U.S. armored division was rolling through the street that we lived on, and we saw the house that we lived in when we lived there. And then we also saw another picture where the Nazi Party was having a parade down that same street right in front of our house. So my dad was able to find those pictures on the internet, and it was amazing. It was a really fun time. We, one of the, I don't know if it's surreal, but one of the eye-opening things that I was able to do in there is just because they had, just like many towns or villages did, they have their own cemetery there, and many of the people that were buried in that cemetery had swastikas or German army emblems on their tombstones, and it was just kind of a surreal thing to be. I loved living in Germany. It was one of the coolest things that I think I've ever done, and unfortunately, I think I was too young to appreciate it because it was back when I was in 6th, 7th, and 8th grade. So I was a little too young to really appreciate what was going on there. I was more tied up in all of the things middle schoolers are tied up in, friends and goofing off and all that kind of stuff. So that's my only regret, is that I was there, I think, a little too early to truly appreciate what was going on. But I have a lot of fond memories of it. But to answer your question, no, I have not been to Poland. I'm sorry. Am I going to Essen? I believe so. We've not. I don't believe we've bought plane tickets for it yet, but I believe so. Hello. Kas, say hello. There we go. Have I seen the new Star Wars Rise of Skywalker trailer? I've not seen a new one if it has been put out within the last couple of days. I have seen the one with Rey running towards a TIE fighter. Looks like it's probably Kylo Ren's fighter. No, maybe it's not. I can't remember. Anyway, she's running towards the TIE fighter, and then she supposedly cuts it in half with her lightsaber, which is kind of strange, but there you have it. Mic is off. No, it's not. My mic is not off. It's on. I promise. It's working. I promise my mic isn't off. It's turned on. I'm looking at it. There's a green light. See? So if somebody else can do something, I don't know. Maybe it's just not the right way. I don't know. Should I talk like this? I don't know. It's definitely on, though. I promise. Anyway, To answer your question, no, I have not seen the new Rise of Skywalker trailer. I'll probably go watch it today. I didn't know there was a new one out there.
To be clear, my mic was on. Sorry, now it's off.
Oh, okay. There we go. We even told him that his mic was on. Anyway, all right. Let's see. What game have you played, and what did you? I think I know what you're doing there, Trevor. Thank you. What game have you played, and what did you think of it? All right. I'm not even going to do that. I'm not going to answer that question, Trevor. You troll. Have you tried Memoir 44 with non-gamers? Did it go over well? Do you consider it as gateway? Wow. Well, you know, I've tried it with members of my family, and it went over well with them. Do I consider it a gateway game? I don't think so. And the reason I say that is because I think it's a gateway to war games. Let me put it that way. I think it's a good gateway to war games. If you have somebody that is a history buff and maybe a war history buff, I think they're really going to take to that game, and it's going to be a first step in that direction for them. Now, whether they continue to just be content with Memoir 44 and continue enjoying it, because there's a lot of content for Memoir 44 if you can get your hands on it, or they're going to take a step further and go further down that war game rabbit hole, so to speak, and maybe go into Combat Commander and ASL or ASLSK, which is Advanced Squad Leader, or the starter kits for Squad Leader, or further down that path. I think it's a good gateway war game for somebody that's wanting to get into war games. I don't think it's a gateway game for just anybody. First of all, it has that divisive content in it where it's simulating war, combat, where if you really get down to the nitty-gritty of it, you are, you're killing people. You're using those units. You're reenacting battles that actually happened. Those are real things that went on. So there's that divisive nature of it right there. And then on top of that, I don't think it's a gateway game because for just anybody, because it does have some card playing tactics, strategy. That's probably a little bit too much. And again, everybody's different. So for me to give a blanket statement to say that it's not a gateway game, there might be somebody out there, and there probably is, where they've used it as a gateway experience and it went over very well for those people. Fine, that's cool. I just think on a larger scale, I don't think it's going to be as effective as other games would be. Like, for example, Ticket to Ride or Memoir 44, which is the better gateway game? Well, I would say that Ticket to Ride is. But with certain groups of people that are not in the hobby, Ticket to Ride might seem boring, whereas Memoir 44 might be exciting. So again, it really depends on the person. But me, which one do I think would be better? I think Ticket to Ride is the better overall gateway game. But no, I don't think it's a gateway game for everyone. So there you have it. I don't understand that comment, so I'm not going to put it up there. Have none of you received a review copy of Tapestry? No, we have not. Seems weird. It is what it is. It's no big deal. Any thoughts on Tom Holland's Spider-Man character possibly leaving the Marvel Universe? I just heard about it this past weekend, and I'm kind of bummed about it. He, in my opinion, was the best Spider-Man out of the three of them. I thought that the first guy, can't remember his name, was a little too. He was a good Peter Parker, I think, but he was not a very good Spider-Man. The second guy, and I don't remember his name either, don't really care, was just, I don't know, he had that emo vibe going on. I guess you could say that he was just very sullen and sulky, and You know, just I don't know. I didn't seem like a good Peter Parker, but he was also a pretty good Spider-Man. You know, goofing around and that type of thing. I think Tom Holland pulls all that together. He's a good Peter Parker, and then he is also a good Spider-Man. So yeah, I was kind of bummed to hear that he might not be back as well. But I did read a couple of headlines over the weekend that said that I think deals are still going on. You know, what Disney wants and what Sony wants and all this other kind of stuff, and so it might not be done just yet, but who knows. All right. Morning, Sam. Hope Aiden's doing well. He is. Thank you for mentioning him. I know you guys, had some fun at Dice Tower Con, so I appreciate you remembering him. How long have you been a fan of TI? Since second edition. I think I played second edition once, and then third edition came out right after that, and we played a whole lot of third edition, and then of course fourth edition. But just started working at a place that has TI1. Ooh. Wow. Well, I'd give it a try just to see what it's like, especially if you've played 3 or 4, so you can have a comparison there. What games are you looking forward to playing that are in your queue at the moment? Right now I've got Dreadfane, Warhammer Underworld's Dreadfane, sitting on my table at home, and I'm probably going to play that tonight. I've also got Bang the Dice game, an expansion, Undead or Alive. So I'm looking forward to getting that one there. There's another Games Workshop game called Combat Arena, I think, that I'm looking forward to trying. There's also Undaunted Normandy that I have from Osprey Games, I think, and I'm looking forward to get that one to the table. So there's Mornquest from Backspindle Games. That's something I want to get to the table here pretty soon. Yeah, I think that's about it, just off the top of my head right now. Just kind of thinking about what's at home. So there you have it. A few months ago, you got a Star Wars game published by Truffle, a big white boxed game. Was it so bad that you didn't even want to do a review? I don't remember what you're talking about, as a matter of fact. So now I'm curious to see what it's going to be, what it is, and what it was. So I'm going to look for it as soon as we get done here. Hyperdrive show is amazing. Watch 6 episodes during the weekend too. 6 episodes, yeah, that's about the size of it. It's a very cool show where it just highlights the skill that these guys and gals have in piloting those cars. And I say piloting on purpose because it does not seem like it is just regular driving. Let's see, where did your fandom of Chicago teams coming from? Go Pack Go. See, why'd you have to say that, Jeff? Ugh. You just sullied our comment section. My fandom of Chicago comes from my dad. He grew up in Anderson, Indiana, which is just outside of Indianapolis, but it was back when they didn't have any regular teams, pro teams. So the next closest place was Chicago. That's who he grew up rooting for, and so I took that over. I used to be, when I was really young and impressionable, a Dallas Cowboys fan. And my dad took us to see the Dallas Cowboys play the Chicago Bears up in Texas Stadium one year. And I don't remember the details, but I do remember that Chicago won. As I was sitting there in my Roger Staubach jersey, watching, or maybe it was Danny White's jersey, watching my Cowboys get defeated. And that was devastating. and I decided to root for the Bears from then on out. So that's how I became a Bears fan. Bulls basketball is my least favorite sport to watch. So the Bulls, I enjoyed. I became a fan of them back in the Jordan years, and of course, I stick with them now. And again, basketball is my least favorite sport, so it's not like I have a huge amount of passion for that, but they're my team. I enjoy watching them. As far as the Cubs are concerned, you gotta love the Cubs, unless you're, the Indians or any other team that they beat on the road to the World Series a few years ago. But you gotta love the Cubs, right? And then the Blackhawks, I love hockey. It's probably my favorite sport, and I like it the most. And I began watching the Blackhawks back in the Eddie Belfour days, and Jeremy Roenick and Chris. I can't remember the defensive man. Chelios, and those guys were the team that when I really started following the Blackhawks. So that's it. Yeah. So I enjoy all that. I don't watch MLS, so I'm not a Chicago Fire fan, but I do know that they exist, so that's probably a plus. I'm much more of a Premier League fan than anything else. Forever United. There we go. So yeah, there you have it. Have I had a chance to play Warhammer Warcry yet? No, I haven't. And I know I'll probably enjoy it if the thing here, I'll put that up on the screen. The thing about Underworlds is that I like the card-driven nature of it. I think that's the determining factor between why I think I will still continue to like Warhammer Underworlds better than Warcry or Kill Team. I think that Kill Team and Warcry seem like more of a skirmish version of, like a squad level skirmish version of Warhammer 40k. So, and Age of Sigmar. So, and I have less time for that. The thing I like about Warhammer Underworlds is that it plays in 30 to 45 minutes. It really plays fast, and that's what I really enjoy about it. But there you have it. All right, hello Sam from the UK. You're a big fan of Tannhäuser. Is the core game enough, or do I have to buy lots of expansion pieces? Well, it's very much out of print at this point, Michael. So if you can find a core version of it, buy it. You don't need. It has a lot of expansions, and the expansions are pretty hard to get a hold of unless you found a treasure trove of them somewhere in some deep dark back alley hobby store, which is possible that they've come to rest somewhere like that, but you don't need them. If you do buy a core set, make sure that has this the second edition rule set in it, because it's better than the first. I didn't really find anything necessarily wrong per se with the first edition, but they do have a second edition which is better, I guess. So if you can get a hold of that second edition rulebook, it may be able to be downloaded PDF or something to that effect. I would try to make sure you do that, but all the other expansions are not necessary. I think it's a great game in its core box version only, but if you can, it just widens the possibilities of the games if you can pick up more expansions, but you don't have to. Any thoughts on Bang the Dice game, Undead or Alive? No, not yet. I'm going to hopefully be getting that played soon. Who will have a better record this season, the Bears or the Browns? Well, I'm going to say the Bears. Now, that's not based on any empirical or objective evidence that I have. It's just I'm a Bears fan, and I don't pay attention to stats and who got traded to whom and who got where, and I'm not that kind of fan. I just enjoy watching my team play. and I'll cheer them on, whoever they might be. So to answer your question, the Bears will, of course. Do I like HeroScape? Yes, I do. Am I excited for Unk? Just because I know Eric Lang designed it, and it's like the third trilogy in his mythology trilogy, or whatever you want to call it, yes. Because I've liked the other two games, Blood Rage and Rising Sun, so I am naturally excited for Unk. Am I going to like it? I don't know. Haven't played it yet, but am I excited to try it? Absolutely. Even though the theme mechanisms are different, did Reavers of Midgard supplant Champions of Midgard? No, it did not. As a matter of fact, Reavers of Midgard is a fairly heavy, lot going on game, and Champions is sort of like that, but I like the hybrid nature of Champions a smidge better. It's not that I don't like Reavers, don't get me wrong, but I do like Champions of Midgard better still. Now, I'm still looking forward to the next full-on kind of Amerithrash version game that they have coming out for the third game in that trilogy to see how it stacks up. But I do still enjoy Champions better than Reavers, but I still really enjoy Reavers. Dying for an updated games every gamer should own. Oh, well, that's on Tom's plate. Oh, that's probably something we'll redo in the near future. Got it. All right. Why is Tom's mic on? Hot mic. What? Tom's cutting in. All right. So that's how Tom is drowning out Sam. Okay. So that's when it happened. All right. Wow, that happened a long time, it seems. Nobody's listening to me now. Very good. Tom's wearing a mic. Well, he was wearing it. He might still be wearing it, although it's turned off because he was in here doing reviews before we started doing the live Q&A. That's why. Somebody said, I thought I had another YouTube window open. That's great. Okay, nobody's monitoring live chat. Shut the door. Audio crossover. Okay, I'm just trying to get down to the next. Everybody's loving this, by the way. I'm just trying to get down next to the. Okay. Yes, I am. Any second now. That's true. That did happen. Burglar guy, good morning. Hello. Delayed reaction. Enjoying the stream. Good, thank you. Mike is fine. Are you looking forward to hyperspace? Hyperspace. I don't know what this is. Hyperspace. Oh, no, this is interesting. I'm starting to think that they are pulling an Endgame with the new Star Wars, not going into it for those that haven't seen Endgame and knows about the plot. Okay, that's cool. Interesting. And now everybody's telling me that it's not my mic, it's Tom's mic. So thank you for that. I appreciate it. What's my favorite coin game? I don't have a favorite coin game. I don't play many of the games in that series. They're a little bit off of my beaten path. Not a whole lot, but they're just a little bit too much. A little bit too much. What's my favorite legacy game? My favorite legacy game is Pandemic Legacies. Both Season 1 and 2. I like how they have the continuing nature of it. I guess you can say that 2 right now is my favorite because it's the latest installment, but I'm really looking forward to third season as well. So that's my favorite Legacy game to date. Now I am enjoying Clank Legacy a lot. So, but I'm less of a deck builder fan than I am of, say, like Pandemic Legacy. So I still like Pandemic Legacy more, but I am enjoying Clank Legacy a lot. Let's see. Okay, so Mizo says, do you ever get the time to play modern classics, things like Ticket to Ride or Pandemic, or are you done with them generally? I'm not done with them. They just don't hit the table as often because we have so many other games that we have to play in order to review them. So I don't have a whole lot of time to go back and play games that I have played. Now, we've recently played, Ticket to Ride London, and I know Tom already did the review of that, but it's something that I wanted to play because I really enjoyed the New York version with the little taxi cabs and the double-decker buses in Ticket to Ride London is really cool. And it also has that neat, not really area control, but if you connect to all of the different parts of the city within a certain zone, you also score more points for that zone. So I like that addition to those just really light, fast Ticket to Ride games. So it's not that I'm done with those modern classics. I'm just they just aren't able to hit the table as much. What shirt am I wearing? I'm wearing a shirt that says Deliverance. This is a new game that's coming out from Andrew Lowen, is the designer that has a theme where angels are fighting demons and that type of stuff. And it's a pretty cool game that I was able to try out. He sent me and my family these shirts as a gift, so it's a comfortable shirt, so that's why I'm wearing it. Let's see. Can you recommend any fighting war game with miniatures like Rising Sun, Blood Rage, Lord of Hell? Is not co-op, though. We don't like co-op in our group. Well, I don't. Yeah, you know that those aren't co-op games. Well, if you like Kemet, you might want to get the set expansion for it if you can, because that's not co-op. It's all versus one, where one player plays Set coming back trying to take over, and everybody else plays trying to stop him from doing so. So that would be a cool expansion for Kemet if you don't have it already. Well, I mean, we've already talked about Memoir 44, but that might be a little light for you, based on the other games you've mentioned here. But that's a fighting war game with miniatures. Yeah. See, the ones you've mentioned are really good ones. So I'm trying to find ones that are like, as good or better. And there's not a whole lot in that. Do you back games on Kickstarter? I have to date backed exactly one game on Kickstarter, so I can effectively answer that question. No, I usually don't. It's just not part of my budget. That's another one I've been trying to, I want to get to the table here pretty soon. The new expansion for Inish, the Seasons expansion. Really looking forward to getting that one back to the table as well. Oh, Mawkish Brody. Andrew Garfield was too cool for Peter Parker. Acted all rebel without a... Yeah, that's true. That's a little bit closer. It's more of an accurate statement than what I said earlier. But Bobby Maguire is not a nice person. Okay. I'll take your word for it, because I don't know the guy. Would you like to see a Stargate game on the market. I guess so. Yeah, that'd be pretty cool. But I'm not really invested in the Stargate universe, but I do think it's cool. It's a cool storyline and all that kind of stuff. So I would like to do that. Did we finish Rise of Queensdale? We have not. It's sitting right over there and leering, kind of jeering us, bring me back, bring me back. And I really would like to. We were just talking about that the other day, Tom and I, how we'd really like to get that to the table. But right now we're kind of trying to get Clank Legacy done, so it's going to have to wait a little bit longer. What's the perfect name for a pet dragon? Let's see. If it was an ice dragon, I'd name him Gervin, Gervin, as in George Gervin. You guys can figure out why. If it was a fire dragon, I would name it Smokey. If it were a black dragon, I would name it Shadow. If it were a green dragon, I would name it Patty. And yeah, I don't know. It's whatever you want to name your pet dragon, dude. Let's see here. Carl Burns, I just want to say I appreciate you not skipping over so many questions and replying to things you might have said before. We don't all have the time to watch everything. That's true, and you're welcome. I appreciate you saying so, Carl. Thank you. Is your shirt in reference to the movie? No, it is not. He got it. All right. Star Wars Conflict. Okay, this is back to the Star Wars game that came in a white box from Truffle. Star Wars Conflict. All right, I'll look for it. Can't promise that I'll find it. Gosh, you need to stop it, dude. That's just not funny. That's not cool. Don't be a troll, man. Just say nay. Chad asks, if you had a theme song play in every room you enter, what would it be? Mine would be Separate Ways from Journey. Well, first of all, I think I would find that rather annoying, and I think everybody else would find that rather annoying. If you had a theme song play every time you entered a room, I'm just thinking about what that would sound like here in the studio. And you walk into the studio that I'm in and it starts playing, and then you walk out and it stops. You walk into the kitchen and it starts playing, and then you walk out, and then you walk into Tom's office and it starts playing, and then you walk into the office and it starts playing. Oh my goodness, that would be so annoying. Now, if I had just one song that I could play when I wanted it to play, not every time I entered a room, I don't know what that would be. Maybe, let me see. What's the name of the song? Let me find it real quick. No, don't want to do that right now. Stop it. I said no. Oh, wait, I know where it is. Dink, dink. Dink. A Call to Arms by Theocracy. I really like that that opening riff. Just sounds really cool. Sounds like this. But, that's just me. I'm a metalhead, but I like Christian metal. Let's see here. Sorry, review on Realms of Sand. Do you still enjoy the game? Yeah, I do. I like those kinds of games. I like spatial games. I like spatial organization. So I really enjoyed it. I'm not that great at it, but I have fun playing it. So yes, I do still enjoy that game. Wait a minute. Jeff is a Cubs fan too? Dude, how do you sleep at night, man? How can you be a Packers fan and a Chicago fan? That's just not, that's not okay. It's not okay. Wow. Okay, Cos. I'm publishing this, buddy. There you go. I can go suck a cheese wedge. I would probably eat a cheese wedge. I don't know about sucking on it, though. That seems like not very good. I don't have a lot of time to play roller hockey anymore. I really would like to, but I just don't have the ability. I'm not a very good skater anymore either because I haven't done it in a while. So I'd probably break something, and I don't have the funds to pay for broken things. So I would probably choose not to anyway. But I would really like to, yeah. So Sam isn't a Euro snob for games, but he is for soccer. For shame. Oh no, I'm not a Euro snob. I just like playing. I guess you could say I like that style of play because each league has their different themes. Not really themes, but different ways of playing the game. And like the Italian leagues are really like at least from what I've seen, they're really rough. And Premier League isn't easy peasy either, but there's a little bit more finesse. But then the Champions League, there's a lot of finesse. All of the European teams, all of the, I guess you could call them Eastern European teams that are very finesse oriented, I guess you could say. So I don't know. I just like, I don't know. It's not that I watch it all the time, but if I'm going to watch soccer, I would rather it be Premier League. But if it's MLS, that's fine. I don't really care, but I just enjoy Premier League better. That's all. Let's see. The questions are not showing up on the screen. Why? I'm not putting up everyone. They're not showing up at all. That's weird. I don't know why. This is the first time I've used this. Am I looking forward to Tsukiyumi Full Moon Down with miniatures? And that is true. Yes, I guess it's not showing up. I don't know why they aren't. So, yes, I am. I don't know why these comments aren't showing up on the screen, if they are or if they are not. I guess I could check real quick. Here, let me check. I just want to see if it is. Okay, well, I can't really tell if it is or if it isn't. But I'm sorry if it isn't. I don't know how to fix it. This is the first time I've used it, and I kind of got the quick and dirty explanation going, but I can tell that it is not. I apologize. But yes, Tsukiyumi Full Moon Down with miniatures. I am looking forward to it. I'm wondering how it's going to kind of handle some of the things that Tsukiyumi Full Moon Down has. Tsukiyumi Full Moon Down has, each of the standees had all of its stats, right there on the standee. So you didn't have to have another sheet of paper or another player aid or what have you that kind of told you what everything was. So I'm seeing how I'm going to like that aspect of it, because that was one of the cool things that I thought about the game as the standees. But we'll see. But I think it's going to look amazing. And I don't think they've changed anything with gameplay, so it's probably still going to be very fun. I just don't know how they're going to go with that thing of what is the one thing for you that makes a game like Blood Rage an epic game? For me, it's the stories that you tell after the game is over, and the after discussion of the game, I guess you could say, because playing a game is one thing, but playing a game that kind of sticks in your mind and makes you think about it longer than just when you're playing it, that's what makes it a game epic for me. Kind of. And then, of course, it has to be the scale of the game and all that kind of thing as well. But generally speaking, it's how long it stays in your memory and how long you can draw back to those memories. That's what makes it epic for me. Clank in space, or neither. I'm going to say Clank in space. I like the mechanism of having to get a key to go deeper into the spaceship. I just like that better as a game mechanism. Oh, we just lost power, but I don't think we lost anything on the stream. I think our protector, our battery backup actually worked this time. Yeah, everything's fine, I think. We did lose power, but that didn't shut off. That's still going.
Did the internet shut off? Okay. Did it?
Oh, it did? So we're going to lose it?
I think we're good.
Okay.
I mean, at least on this end.
No, we're back here. Hey, they said that the questions are showing up on the screen. I don't know why.
We'll figure out. I know why. We'll figure out later.
Okay, no worries. So let's see here. Since I'm not using that anymore, I'm just going to use this. I'm not going to do that because this is where I am. Jimmy P says, maybe a random hot mic could be part of each live show. That might be a little difficult. Hyperspace by Sandy Peterson, a short 4X game that was kickstarted. Okay, now I remember that Sandy Peterson is what brought it back to memory. Hyperspace did nothing for me. Matter of fact, I thought it was another Star Wars themed game that I had missed. Sure, I guess. I'm just still leery about people trying to put out a 4X game. This is a little snobbish because I really enjoy Twilight Imperium 4 so much that I really doubt that I'm going to like any other space 4X game as much or better. So I'm just leery about trying new ones. And I know, how am I ever going to find out if I like something that is as good or better if I never play these new ones? But here's the thing. More often than not, what I found when somebody promises a 4X experience in a shorter time frame, because that usually seems to be the buzz at this point, right? People want to have the same experience just in less time. And sometimes you can't produce the same experience per se in less time, because time is part of what makes it the epic experience that it is. So trying to mimic a 4X epic game in less time, that's why it's so difficult. And usually they're only going to be able to shave minutes, maybe hours, but more often than not, it's not going to be that big of a difference between this game and that game if it does indeed produce the same level of experience or involvement. So I'm leery about those kinds of games, but I'd be willing to try it if it hit the table. If Eric Lang approached you to design a board game with him, what theme and mechanisms would you aim for? Well, first of all, let me just say that that's the odds of that happening are slim to none, and then even further below that, I think. What theme and mechanics would you aim for? Well, I like card-driven games. So I guess that I would maybe want to include that. I also like worker placement as well. So I don't know how those two would really work within an Eric Lang game, like what I would really enjoy from him, but it probably would have something to that effect. Here's a good question. What game were you most hyped to play, but were the most disappointed after playing? He says for him it was Root. He said he was positive. Chad said he was positive he was going to like it. We're actually, I think, we're actually thinking about doing a top 10 of this in the somewhat relative near future, I think. So I'm going to hold off saying anything. Can players drop in and out of Clank Legacy from game to game, or do you need to have a set group? I don't think they do. Now, that being said, I haven't actually read the rule book. That would be a better question for Tom, I think, because he's the one that read through the rule book. But I don't think you have to have the same number of players all the time, because it does scale. The different components that are used and all this other kind of stuff. All right, Sebastian Ambrose, Super Chats. Why you don't like StarCraft, the board game? Order system is genius. It's not that I don't like StarCraft, the board game. I just don't play it any longer. And I think back then when I did play it, it's when it first came out. I just don't think I was into that kind of game back then. I think I would probably enjoy it more now than I did back then, but I don't know. And I don't have a copy to test that theory. Ben McGuire, are you excited for the retreat? Yeah, I'm actually excited for it. There's a couple things I'm excited. I'm excited for the epic battle lore that Roy's putting together. 8 players, kind of like Memoir 44's Normandy. No, not Normandy. Overlord mode of play. So he's figured out a way to get that done. So yeah, I'm looking forward to that. I'm also just looking forward to hanging out and chilling and seeing how that goes. Did you think The Mandalorian is worth it to sign up for Disney Channel? I've actually been thinking about getting rid of Hulu. Although I can get Hulu for free now with my phone. Cutting out one thing and adding Disney, not just for The Mandalorian, but for everything else that Disney has. So I'm thinking about it. Yeah, probably. Somebody said they'd pick Old Town Road. Really? You're gonna go there? Okay. It's a funny song, but I don't think I'd want it being played. Okay. No, yeah. It wasn't a Star Wars theme. It wasn't a Star Wars game. Conflict. That is a flicking game that has a Star Wars theme, Star Trek theme on it, not Star Wars. Okay, that makes sense. All right. I appreciate you saying that, Mr. E. BG staying alive. We built this city. Do I like Skillet's new album? I don't know that I've heard it, but don't know. Have you ever listened to Deliverance, Christian metal band? I have. I like them. Let's see. Bartman. Why you gotta bring that up, man? Gator Dave, come on, man. Disney is going to be Eric Finley says Disney will be $6 a month. Jon Favreau is the creator, and Pedro Pascal is playing the title character. Well worth $6 based on the people involved, in my opinion. Okay. Oh, I'm out of time. That's why everybody just. Okay. Let's see here. Let's see. All right. Well, let's go ahead and do, I guess, the lightning round, where you ask me this or that, and then I will answer that or the other. Jason Lee, this is from a long time ago. Root or Blood Rage? Why would you even ask that question? I apologize, but sorry, not sorry, that type of thing. Warhammer recommendation for younger kids 9 to 11. If they're good readers, I think 9 to 11 could definitely handle the Warhammer Underworlds. That they have, like, I think 3 core boxes that are out now, and then a whole bunch of different expansion factions. So I would definitely do that if they're good readers. If they aren't, maybe something like Blood Bowl Light or something to that effect. That would be cool. Ray or Kylo? Ray, come on. Let's see. Descent or Imperial Assault? I'll go with Imperial Assault. Champions of Midgard, Raiders of the North Sea, champions. Architects of the West Kingdom versus Paladins, architects. Paladins is a lot heavier game with less interaction, whereas Architects is a lighter game with more interaction. So there you have it. Cruise or Retreat. The Retreat is less intrusive to regular scheduling, but the Cruise is more fun, I guess you could say. So there you have it. So it depends. Primer, spray or brush? Spray. By far, you can get a lighter, even coat with a spray paint than with a brush, or with the airbrush. Unmatched or Funkelverse. I haven't played Unmatched yet, so I can't say. Sacred Warrior or Bloodgood. I have not listened to a lot of Sacred Warrior. I have listened to Bloodgood though, so I'm going to go with Bloodgood. Tom on a hot mic or Tom on mute? Well, it depends. Is Tom part of the video or not? Ernie Banks or Anthony Rizzo at first base? Man, come on. Why you got to go down that path? I like Rizzo a lot, but come on. Ernie Banks is classic. Orcs or Chaos? Orcs. Hair or Intelligence? Wow. I see what you did there. Penalty shot or overtime goal? Oh, overtime goal. Overtime goal. Shootouts are fun to watch. They suck if you are a player, especially if you're a goalie, which I was. All right, well, let's see. You got Joan of Arc, Conan, or Batman GCC. I'm going to say Joan of Arc, but I did enjoy Batman too. Belfour or Chelios. I was a goalie. I'm going to go with Belfour. 3D printing or 2D printing?
Like printing on paper.
Really?
That was you?
No, it wasn't. It wasn't Roy. I didn't say that. Miami Dice or Testing Tuesday. I like Testing Tuesdays more, but Miami Dice are fun.
Less work.
It is less work. My Warhammer Underworlds, Dreadfane, or Funkelverse. I know Tom would say Funkelverse, but I'm going to say Warhammer Underworlds. I haven't actually played Dreadfane yet, so maybe I won't like Dreadfane. We'll see. Anyway, that's about it. We're going to go ahead and get on out of here, and I want to appreciate you guys and gals taking time to stop by and ask questions. Let's see, only 3 thumbs down. That's good, especially with the knowledge that 1 was here before we even started. So
That was me.